Well, everyone knows that investing for retirement is crucial, but certain mistakes can crush your retirement savings.
Here to help make sure we don't make those mistakes is Jim Heafner. He's the president of Heafner Financial. He's a certified financial planner and is known as Carolina's retirement coach. Jim Heafner, welcome to Charlotte today.
Hello, sir. How you doing?
Thank you.
You know, Jim, we're going to start when we were talking about bonds, but when I was a kid, everybody was talking about buy U.S. savings bonds. That was the thing back in the 70s, early, that you need to buy bonds. But you say that bonds are not a really good investment.
Well, so, over the past 40 years, bonds have been a good investment. People have made money in bonds. They've been safe. They've done what we say they do, right? But what happened over the last 40 years? Interest rates have been declining over that whole time frame. What are interest rates doing today?
They're starting to go back up.
Going up, right? So what happens to bonds when interest rates rise? They fall in value. So let me give you an example. Let's say you bought a General Motors bond paying you 4% a year for 30 years. And rates rise. Now General Motors issues a new set of bonds, and they're paying 7%, not 4%. What happened then to the value of your 4% bond? It went down.
It went down.
Because nobody wants a 4% bond when I can get one paying 7%, right?
That's right.
So the likelihood of you making money in bonds today is very slim. It's very slim. So that's the problem we have. It's just that it's a different world today.
And but why are they still offered then? I mean, they're still offered as a safe investment.
And
correct?
recommended, absolutely. And there's two reasons I would say. One is this, is that that's all people know. If you think about it, who was a financial advisor prior to 40 years ago? So all advisors know is this in climate where bonds are safe and make money. But it's a different world today. The second reason is this, is that most large advisory firms, they sell stocks and bonds. That's what they want to sell. It's where their profit is. So because of that, they might be called ETFs or mutual funds or variable annuities or REITs, but you're selling stocks and bonds. And so their story won't change because that's what makes them money.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't own bonds, what should we own then?
Well, good question, right? So what you want is a true risk-free asset that can't lose money like bonds are likely to do. And an asset that gives you a good yield, a good income stream, and a place to turn to when your stocks are down so you can give them time to recover while you take income, right? So that's what you want to have. So I was at the Investment News Summit in Chicago 2 weeks ago. And Professor Emeritus of the Kellogg School of Business, who's now with a securities company, was talking about how to use cash as that risk-free asset. His philosophy was this: you take 4 years of cash need and you leave it in cash, and when the market's down, you spend your cash and let your stocks recover, right? And when the market's up, then you spend from the stocks and replenish your cash. Makes a lot of sense. But what if, and that's surely better than using bonds because cash doesn't lose money, it doesn't make anything, it doesn't lose, bonds will likely lose. But what if you could make 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% a year on that risk-free asset, not zero?
Well, I got that. So here it brings me to stocks. What are your feelings about stocks? Should we be, if we don't get bonds, should we really have invested in stocks?
Well, I think so. But you have to have that risk-free asset that you can turn to when the market's down so you don't deplete your assets, so you can let the stock market come back. I think we're going to see a good run in stocks yet, a couple more years yet, because, look, the tax law change that began this year took corporate taxes from 35% max to 20% max. That means large profits. That means stock gains. Now, unless Trump tweets something disastrous or something bizarre happens in the world, we should see a good, steady, volatile market, but up for stocks. Bonds, no, but positive for stocks.
So if I'm made dividends on my stocks, you're saying that going from 35% to 20%, I got a 15% net that I get to keep, basically?
Well, we don't know. It depends on what the company decides to issue as dividends, right? But their profitability would increase, which means typically you're buying the profits of the company, so your stock values should appreciate over the next couple of years.
So long and short, we should really kind of be divesting in bonds and thinking about
exactly.
More stocks,
now,
right?
again, everyone's different, and your plan might be a little different, but in general, bonds and bond funds especially are likely to lose you a lot of money. So, if rates change a little bit, you could lose 50% or more in your bonds. This is not a small amount, but again, it's a new world that we're not used to living in with rising rates. But we're not talking about we're talking about a big loss in bonds.
Indeed.
Well, if you want to learn more about how you can take control over your retirement, give the team at Heafner Financial a call. The number is 704-552-1230. The first 5 callers will receive a complimentary, no-obligation financial review. Again, the number to call is 704-552-1230. You can also visit Jim's website. It's you'lljustknow.com. You'lljustknow.com. Eugene, you can say it too.
I know, you'll just know. I just love that. You'lljustknow.com.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, sir. Well, coming up.